So, Bernie Sanders has officially endorsed Hillary Clinton. Now, some people on the Bernie side thought this wouldn't happen. He thought, there's no way he's going to do that. Well, you see, Bernie Sanders is a man of his word. When he joined the Democratic Party, he made a commitment to endorse the nominee, out of respect, out of loyalty to the party. So, I'm seeing on Twitter all these Bernie busters going on and on about how Bernie Sanders is a traitor. It really shows the state of our discourse here. Now, full disclosure, I voted for Bernie Sanders in the Michigan primary. I still don't know if I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. I may abstain. I may vote for her. I really don't know. But there's no fucking way in hell that I'm voting for Donald Trump. And I would say why, but I think Bernie Sanders articulated himself very well. So, my message to people who are like, Bernie, you're a sellout. Look, okay, if you watched his speech, you'd understand that he doesn't want Donald Trump to be president. He thinks that Hillary Clinton's platform is better. Now, obviously, she has a lot of problems that he's brought up, like her corruption problems, her Wall Street connections, her super PAC, and all that. But guess what?
If anyone out there thinks that this election is not important, take a moment to think about the Supreme Court justices that Donald Trump will nominate and what that means to civil liberties, equal rights, and the future of our country.
We have the chance of nominating 3, maybe 4 Supreme Court nominations. Guess what? If the conservatives, if the Republicans get the Supreme Court nomination, if they get the Supreme Court nomination process, you can say goodbye to LGBT rights. You can say goodbye to pro-choice measures. You can say goodbye to legal weed. You can say goodbye to the Affordable Care Act. You can say goodbye to a lot of these things. And if you thought logically, if you used your fucking head and understood, there are some concessions. The foundation of politics is to compromise. You don't always get what you want. And guess what? Hillary Clinton, whether you want to hear it or not, whether you're going to put your fingers in your ears and whine about it and call everyone who doesn't meet your fucking purity test a sellout, you need to sit back and reflect the fact that you don't understand anything about politics. I knew from day one that this was going to happen. When he lost New York, I was accepting the fact that he was probably over with. Things don't always work out as it seems. And I hate to fucking break it to you guys, but sometimes you lose. You cannot call yourself logical and you cannot call yourself intelligent. When you're given 2 options and you say, hey, I'm going to vote for Jill Stein, you have every right to vote for Jill Stein. But guess what? Remember President Al Gore? He was in office for, 2 terms. He did a pretty good job as president. Oh, fucking wait. Guess what? We didn't have a President Al Gore because we had a spoiler vote, and then Al Gore lost Florida, and we had 2 terms of the fucking worst president we've ever had in recent history, who got us into the Iraq War, who started the housing bubble, who did all this bullshit. And you want to talk to me about burning it to the ground. Guess what? There's a thing in political science called extremes. When you go to the extreme, Trump is the extreme on the right. Bernie Sanders could be considered the extreme on the left. Hillary Clinton is right here. If the country rejects the centrist and goes for the radical, like you want to burn it down, it does not swing back. It doesn't swing back. Political science is complicated shit, and if you're going to sit there and be a reactionary and just act like, the guy who still believes all these things, like fundamental restructuring of the voting process, making primaries cleaner, getting corruption out of Washington, doing stuff about universal health care, doing stuff about tuition, now I welcome disagreements. I'd love to hear your reasons as to why, and if you can quote somebody other than H.A. Goodman, why you're just going to vote for Jill Stein and talk about how amazing she is and how she's not going to totally pull over 5%, have at it, Haas. But there really isn't any substantive policy talk here. Talk about policy, bring a policy, not your emotional reactionary bullshit about how you feel betrayed, how you feel this way. Feelings don't mean shit when we're talking about policy. And as we have it, we have Donald Trump's policy and we have Hillary Clinton's policy. 2 major parties. That's fucking it. Deal with it.